The Sinulog is an annual cultural and religious festival held on the third Sunday of January in Cebu City, and is the center of the Santo Niño +or-0 celebration in the Philippines. Other places like Maasin City, Balingasag, Misamis, Oriental and southern Leyte also have their own version of the festival in honor of the Santo Niño +or-0. The Sinulog commemorates the Filipino people's acceptance of Christianity, and their rejection of their former animist beliefs. The first of these conversions happened in 1521 on the island of Cebu, when Rajah Humabon and his queen Amihan were baptized along with their subjects, becoming Carlos and Juana of Cebu. One of the main highlights of the festival is the Grand Street Parade, which lasts for 9 to 12 hours with participants coming from the different towns and cities of Cebu and from Luzon, Visayas and Mindanao across the Philippines. The Sinulog dance contingents are dressed in bright-colored costumes, dancing gracefully to the rhythm of drums, trumpets and native gongs. Smaller versions of the festival are held in various parts of the province, also to celebrate and honor the Santo Niño +or-0. There is also a Sinulog Kabataan performed by the youths of Cebu a week before the parade. Recently, the festival has been promoted as a tourist attraction, with a contest featuring contingents from various parts of the country. The Sinulog contest is usually held in the Cebu City Sports Complex. The Sinulog festival competition is divided into three categories, namely the street dancing category, free interpretation and Sinulog base categories. The free interpretation category has the most number of participating contingents coming from outside Cebu. The dance steps are fast and the storyline and theme varies from folkloric, mythical and historical lines. The Sinulog-based category centers more on the Sinulog ritual dance worship and the choreography is more formal. The dance steps depicts the prayer dance, which is the true identity of the Sinulog ritual dance. The Sinulog-based participants wear Filipiniana and Hispanic-inspired costumes. The grand champion of the free interpretation and Sinulog-based categories wins 1 million pesos respectively. The Sinanduloy dance troupe of Tanjap City, Misamis Occidental is a consistent winner in the Sinulog-based category. Kaka City of Cebu also proved their mastery of the Sinulog dance and they always end within the top 5 places in the Sinulog competition. The famous Lumad Basacanan dance contingent of Basak San Nicolas, Cebu City has won several free interpretation titles in Sinulog and made history when they were elevated to the Aliwan Fiesta Hall of Fame for winning the National Street Dancing Championship during Aliwan Fiesta 2006, 2007, 2008 and 2014. Sinulog Festival showcases the most number of participants and the best choreographic exhibition of any festival in the Philippines. Festival. The Sinulog celebration lasts for 9 days, culminating on the final day with the Sinulog Grand Parade. The day before the parade, the religious fluvial procession sponsored by the Archdiocese of Cebu is held at dawn with a statue of the Santo Niño +or-0 carried on a beautifully decorated pump boat which sails from Mandal City to Cebu City, decked with hundreds of flowers and candles. The procession ends at the Basilica Menor del Santo Niño de Cebu, where a reenactment of the baptism to the Christian faith of Cebu is performed. In the afternoon, a more solemn procession takes place along the major streets of Cebu City, which last for hours due to large crowd participating in the event. Background. The word Sinulog comes from the Cebuano adverb sulog, which roughly means like water current movement. It describes the forward-backward movement of the Sinulog dance. The dance consists of 2 steps forward and 1 step backward, done to the sound of drums. The dance is categorized into Sinulog base, free interpretation, and street dancing. Candle vendors at the Basilica continue to perform the traditional version of the dance when lighting a candle for the customer, usually accompanied by songs in the native language. The Sinulog dance steps are believed to originate from Rajah Humabon's advisor, Balatay. It was during Humabon's grief when Balatay was driven sick. Humabon ordered his native tribe to bring Balatay into a room where the Santo Niño +or-0 was enthroned, along with the other pagan gods of the native Cebuanos. After a few days passed, Balatay was heard shouting and was found dancing with utmost alertness. Balatay was questioned as to why was he awake and shouting. pointing to the image of the Santo Niño ±O. Balaté explained that he had found on top of him a small child trying to wake him and tickling him with the midrib of the coconut. Greatly astonished, he scared the child away by shouting. The little child got up and started making fun of Balaté. In turn, Balaté danced with the little child and explained that he was dancing the movements of the river. To this day, the 2 steps forward, 1 step backward movement is still used by Santo Niño ±O devotees who believe that it was the Santo Niño ±O's choice to have Balaté dance. History: on April 15, 1521, the Portuguese explorer Ferdinand Magellan arrived and planted the cross on the shores of Cebu, claiming the territory for Spain. He presented the image of the child Jesus, the Santo Niño ±O, as baptismal gift to Amihan, wife of Rajah Humabon. Humamay was later named Queen Juana in honor of Juana, mother of Carlos I. Along with the rulers of the island, some 800 natives were also baptized to the Roman Catholic Church. At the moment of receiving the holy image, it was said that Queen Juana danced with joy bearing this image of the child Jesus. With the other natives following her example, this moment was regarded as the first Sinulog. This event is frequently used as basis for most Sinulog dances, which dramatize the coming of the Spaniards and the presentation of the Santo Niño ±O to the Queen. A popular theme among Sinulog dances is Queen Juana holding the Santo Niño ±O in her arms and using it to bless her people who are often afflicted by sickness caused by demons and other evil spirits. Arrival of La Cubed Pez de Legazpi. The Augustinian friars that accompanied La Cubed Pez de Legazpi in his expedition proclaimed the statue performed miracles and built a church on the site where it was found. The church was called San Agustin Church, later renamed to Basilica Menor del Santo Niño ±O. Letter to the King of Spain. After Juan Camus found the Santo Niño ±O in the burning village, La Cubed Pez de Legazpi was said to have included the incident in his report, entitled Relation of Voyage to the Philippine Islands. Your Excellency should know that on that day when we entered this village, one of the soldiers went into a large and well-built house of an Indio where he found an image of the child Jesus. This was kept in its cradle, all gilded, just as if it were brought from Spain, and only the little cross, which is generally placed upon the globe in his hands, was lacking. The image was well kept in that house, and many flowers were found before it, and no one knows for what object or purpose. The soldier bowed down before it with all reverence and wonder, and brought the image to the place where the other soldiers were. I pray to the holy name of his image, which we found here, to help us and to grant us victory, in order that these lost people who were ignorant of the precious and rich treasure, which was in their possession, may come to knowledge to him. Today, since 1521, devotion to the Santo Niño ±O has grown and has taken root in Philippine popular piety, particularly in the visors. Pilgrims from different parts of Cebu and the rest of the Philippines make their yearly journey to the church to take part in the procession and festival. Starting in 1980, the Cebu City government organized the Sinulog festival and eventually gave incentives to tribal dance groups. The first Sinulog parade was held in 1980. Organized by Davido Dilo, then regional director of the Ministry of Sports and Youth Development. The parade was composed of students dressed in Mora costumes, dancing the Sinulog to the beating of drums. The idea caught and thus, under the direction of the Cebu City Mayor Florentino Solon with the help of several influential Cebuanos, Odilo turned over the Sinulog project to the Cebu City Historical Committee under Kagawa Jesus Garcia. It was the task of the committee to conceptualize the Sinulog festival and make it into a yearly event from then on. In 1981, the following year, the concept of the Sinulog parade was actualized, involving not just Cebu but also representatives from other provinces in the Philippines. Marking its difference from another popular festival, the 80th Sian Inaklan, the Sinulog focuses not on the ritual itself but on the historical aspects of the dance, which, as it has been said, represents the link the country's embrace of Christian faith. Sinulog coat of arms. The Cebu City Historical Committee, which was responsible for the conceptualization of the Sinulog, is a provincial event, decided to adopt a logo for the Sinulog to identify it as an institutionalized yearly event. They turned to the coat of arms of the Santo Niño +or-O, which consisted of a two-headed hawk that was the mark of the ruling House of Habsburg in Europe. The emblem represented the twin purpose of the Habsburg dynasty as champion of Catholicism and defender of the faith. At the time when Spain sent expeditions to the Philippines, they were under the Habsburg dynasty. The Sinulog Committee then incorporated the two-headed eagle to a native warrior's shield. The native shield is supposed to symbolize the Philippines' resistance to colonization, while the Santo Niño +or-O's coat of arms printed on its face represented the country's acceptance of Roman Catholicism. Instrumentation: percussion instruments lists, bass drum, snare drum, tenor drum, plastic barrel drum, octoban, cymbals, crash cymbal, agung, babendal, gandingan, gandingan nakao, kulintang, kulintang na tiniok, kulintang nakao, darbukan, timbales, congas, bongos, chem, claves, cowbell, woodblock, wind chime, glockenspiel, xylophone, triangle, wind instruments, bamboo flute, nose flute, bugle. Brass section includes trumpet and trombone, whistle, stringed instruments, guitar on occasion, violin on occasion, other ethnic stringed instrument on occasions. References. External links: Sinulog PH, Sinulog Foundation Working Committee.